for you. Now coming to the last topic, cerebral damage, hemisphere dominance and disconnect syndromes. So cerebral dominance. Most people are right-handed. So that implies that left side of the hemisphere is more developed. So in most of the cases where the left side of hemisphere is developed, many areas are well developed on that side of the hemisphere as compared to the other. So speech, language, Broca's, Vernix, even association areas are somewhat more dominant on that side. So by definition, we usually say right and left-handed by which hand he writes from. But if we look from the language aspect, 95% of the persons are left dominant. So that dominant hemisphere is responsible for language comprehension, speech, and calculation. And that lesion, you saw that astereognosis, aphasia, Gertzmann syndrome, Alexia with agraphia. I'll show you tactile agnosia, apraxia. All of these things are lost when dominant hemisphere is damaged. When non-dominant hemisphere is damaged, it is usually for non-verbal cues from the spoken language or music, poetry. I think it's my observation, but you can see if you watch so many movies, a relatively higher proportion of the actors or the person in arts industries are left-handed as compared to people in the sciences. Those people are more sensitive to music, poetry, colors, and all that. There will be astereognosis, sensory neglect, hemi-neglect, anosognosis, that is denial of deficit, and there will be apraxia, dressing in, there are all the issues. Dysporosity, expressive dysporosity, and receptive dysporosity, that he cannot, the Broca's and Vernix will not lead to inability to run the language, but there in the case of Broca's there will be inability to express pitch and rhythm. In case of Vernix and non-dominant, there will be inability to pick up the pitch and rhythm and tone of the language. So transcortical lesion means the two hemispheres are not connected any longer. They are usually due to the damage of the corpus callosum. So in this particular case, anterior cerebral artery infarct will lead to the mostly anterior aspect, most of the part of the corpus callosum. So let's see what happens is then. Let's see the normal case. If you are asked to raise your left hand, your signal will reach the ear, the primary auditory area, your association area through vernix area. Vernix area will understand the language and will send the signal to the motor areas to raise up your left hand. But if you are asked to raise your right hand, the signal will reach through the auditory pathway to the primary, then association auditory area, then the vernix area on the left side, because your dominant hemisphere has the functioning vernix area. And to raise the left hand, right hemisphere has to be informed, so the signal crosses the midline through corpus callosum and give to the motor areas of that side to raise the right hand. But if a person is having damaged corpus callosum, if the signal all the way reaches the vernix area on the left side and he's asked to raise it is the left hand, he can raise it before, because the connection to the motor cortex is intact. He does not have to cross the midline. But if he has to, if you ask him to raise the left hand, the right cortex, then the signal cannot cross the midline due to the damaged corpus callosum. So a person is unable to execute a command to move the left side of the body, to move the left arm. So that is a transcortical apraxia. And if you ask him, he will say, yes, I have done it, because his signal was generated by the vernix and sent to the motor area. The messenger got lost in the way. So that's how it works. Alexia without agraphia. Let's say a person is having a stroke on the left-sided posterior cerebral artery. That will lead to not only the contralateral homonymous heminopia, but the lesion of the corpus callosum. You can say at least he is still having the vision on half of the visual field. Yes, so maybe may be able to get from that, but he is not able to read. Why is not able to read? Because now his right sided visual cortex is working. Even if he's having half the image, in that half the image, the language is received, the language is picked up, but to decipher the language, you have to send it to the vernix. And to send it to the vernix, you have to cross the midline through the splenium of corpus callosum to go to the other side. But that was also affected in the infarct. So due to that lesion, the person cannot understand. The person has pure word blindness. He is able to write because vernix is still in communication with motor areas, the Broca's area. So he is able to write. There is no agraphia, but there is alexia, pure word blindness. There are other syndromes in which midbrain and the corpus callosum is cut. If you have two objects on your right and left hand, you cannot compare them because the signal cannot guess across the midline to make the comparison. And if you have any object on the left hand and you want to name that object, the object will be recognized on the right sided parietal association area, somatostatic association area, and the signal has to be sent to the left sided vernix to generate the language component of what I have in my hand. So he is unable to name the object which is in the right hand. He is unable to compare two objects in the two halves of the visual eye field. And alexia, inability to read in the left visual field because the signal from the left visual field has to reach the right hemisphere and cross the midline to reach the left sided vernix. That does not happen, so there is alexia. So here is a summary that's not done by me, that's from the BRS neuroanatomy. So you can pause the slide here, take a screenshot. Here in detail it is written which area damage lead to what issue. So these are the similar notes from the Kaplan's neuroanatomy USMLE notes. I'm not reading them out to you, but you can take a screenshot, pause the video here and go through them. Thank you so much for listening. I know it was an extensive lecture. I hope it was helpful for you. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback regarding this, please let me know. I will be very happy to help. Don't forget to follow us for more videos and browse our channel for head and neck videos, for physiology videos, for neuroanatomy videos. See you in the next video. Till then, good luck. Allah Hafiz.